Hello friends, so today's video is going to be a funny one-star reviews for The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I've been doing this funny one-star reviews style of video for years now. I actually have an entire playlist dedicated to this, and the idea, if you've never seen this before, is where I find people that passionately hate a popular book or series, and then I read them all off to you so that we can all enjoy the rage that these people feel. Sometimes the reviews are very, very funny and creative, and then other times they're just so upset and it makes me laugh. So I am very curious which of the ones I end up reading will be your favorite. Definitely let me know. And then also, you don't have to have read the book in order to watch this. So I will give you a brief synopsis really quick so that you can join in on the fun. And then also, none of the reviews that I'm going to read have spoilers, so you don't have to worry about having anything ruined for you. But anyway, the book for today, The Love Hypothesis, is a story that follows a young woman who is in higher education, who is in STEM. And she, for reasons, kisses one of her professors, and then they end up fake dating, so it has a fake dating trope. And then chaos ensues. These two characters were originally inspired by Kylo Ren and Rey from Star Wars, so it is somewhat rooted in, not somewhat, it's rooted in fan fiction originally, even though the actual end result product was a contemporary romance story with a woman in STEM. The only other thing you need to know is that the love interest, he's really tall. That's the only other thing you really need to know. He's very tall and large and big in every fashion. Also, I don't normally have to give this heads up, but I try as much as possible to make my videos accessible to all. But given the nature of this book being a romance book, there might be some content in these reviews that is mentioned or referenced that if you perhaps watch your videos with your kids around, I just wanted to give that heads up ahead of time. But anyway, jumping into the reviews. The first one, short, to the point. They captured their feelings in one sentence, and it says, "I don't think Reylos deserve human rights. Sorry." The next one, also short and to the point, says, "I'm blocking everyone who said this was good on Book Talk." The next one does have a quote from an intimate scene between the characters. And it's funny because they're just quoting the book, and then they have one tiny little sentence that goes along with their review. So if you want to skip ahead in case you don't want this intimate scene ruined for you, you can skip ahead all the timestamp. But here's the scene. It says, sorry, "You're so big." He groaned into her neck. His entire body was vibrating with tension. "You can take it." "I can," she told him. Can you imagine? I'm so sorry to pause this. Can you imagine taking out any of the dialogue tags or any kind of descriptions between the text and just reading this? Like, imagine somebody sitting at a table reading and they're practicing the scene, reading the scene, and they just say, "You're so big. You can take it." "I can." Anyway, sorry. I'm gonna keep going. "I can," she told him, voice reedy, and her breath caught halfway through the second word. Women gave birth, after all, except that he was not really, not even half, and there was just no more room. And then this person, they added to this, "I will never forget this. Thanks." I do want to just elaborate on that scene for a second. Just the comparison, to think this man is massive, but we give birth after all. We're not in the process of it's not like your body is like going through a ton of contractions so that it expands and then, you know, like, is he the size? I don't even want to say it because I don't want to compare these things. And I'm like, he's not infant size, you know, like, imagine a newborn. That's not what that man is equipped with, you know? That scene was not, I feel like, most people's favorites. Next review says, "This book is a piece of shit." This next one says, "Imagine having sex and apologizing for being wet." We've had a lot of shorter ones here, so now we're revving up to a long review, and this review I greatly enjoyed. I think it's one of the top reviews on Goodreads, so clearly other people also greatly enjoyed it, so I'm gonna read it now. "The pure agony of having to read this. Yes, I was held at gunpoint and forced to finish it. Do not ask questions. I am not allowed to talk about it. I actually picked this to have something fun and easy to read in between studying, but instead I got this infuriating reading experience and a massive spike in my heart rate just from sheer annoyance. You will hear from my cardiologist. Believe me, he's not happy. This was just plain boring. Do I care about the couple? No. They could have not ended up together and it would have made no difference to me. Why would I root for people who can't manage to open their mouths and just talk to each other about their feelings? How does anyone even have relationships? The miscommunication in this was just chef's kiss, and not in a good way. Everyone and their mom knew that Adam was in love with Olive, and yet, yes, this man who lets you coat him in sunscreen and buys you disgusting pumpkin spice lattes. Yes, I am with Adam on this one, but hear me out, I'm allergic, so. And looks at you like the sun shines out of your butt is definitely head over heels for another woman. That makes sense. A little bit of context for this next section. Everybody, all the students think that Adam, he's so mean. He's so mean. So that's what they're referring to in this next part. Also, the whole spiel about Adam being this huge jerk when in reality he A, wasn't, and B, was actually in the right that one specific instance and was just doing his job of raising good future scientists by giving them pointers how to do good research. And yet I had to sit through that whole drama of boo-hoo, how dare you date this mean professor who made me do actual work on my dissertation. I will now hate you because you are enabling him by dating him. First of all, have you considered that you're just doing work? Second, how the heck is that Olive's problem? Why did I have to read this? It was such an unnecessary conflict. There's this thing in romance books where they have to hyper-focus on one of the man's physical attributes, and if it's not his eyes, it's his size. We get it. Adam is big, huge, enormous, a freaking giant. He has muscles. I get it. His fingers are massive, and so is his stuff. Great. You didn't have to tell me in every paragraph, though. I know I have a terrible memory, but I am not close to dementia yet. Once or twice would have been enough. Like, what do you want me to do? Shall I applaud him? Good job growing. I guess you ate your carrots as a kid. Go you. I did actually like Adam, even though he's very stereotypical, grumpy, only drinks black coffee and eats broccoli kind of a character. He is definitely kind of bland, but maybe I just like my men bland. Shrugs. I have like 0 opinions on Olive though. She was there, I guess. All in all, I don't think this book has done anything new or swoon-worthy. The characters were average. The story was average. The writing was average. I don't really get why everyone is so crazy about it. I guess the STEM aspect was fun, but even that has been done before, I think. Overall, I was mainly bored and infuriated by the amount of unnecessary drama and height descriptions. You all do you, I guess, but I'll do me. 1.5 stars. Those came from Goodreads. The next chunk come from Amazon. And Amazon reviews are fun because sometimes the reviews are not necessarily about the content of the book. So this one says, love the book, but ... I love this book. In fact, this review has nothing to do with the actual story. Allie Hazelwood did a wonderful job. What I'm upset about is that I bought this because I wanted the bonus chapter, and when I received it, there was no bonus chapter. False advertising. This one says bought new, but sent used. I bought a copy that was supposed to be new, but I could see that the book had fingerprints on the cover and grime all over the pages. I was sent a used copy. Okay, this one is actually about the book, and it's really short, and it amused me. It says, bought this based upon reviews. Turns out, wasn't one I would read again. Then, okay, this one, once again, not about the book. It's just about, well, I guess it is about the book. It's just not about the story, I should say. But I really like this. So it's common for people on Amazon to rate the product itself, right? That's what you got out of those other two. But sometimes the way it's worded is really amusing to me. So this person's headline here says, excuse me, and then they have a picture and there's a little tear in the book, which is unfortunate. But then it says, this is what it comes like, be better. I really liked that. I like telling Amazon to be better. This next one, the headline says, explicit. Way over the top explicit sex scene, which you got a preview of earlier. Only leaving a review to warn those that may not care to read this kind of stuff because I had no forewarning. It's a romance book. I feel like maybe that's your warning. But I get that not all romance books are explicit. Sometimes they're very wholesome and sweet. So I'm not trying to make fun of that person. I guess, thank you for the warning. The next one is, this is a 5-star book. They meant 5 stars. Sorry, I'm not trying to mock them. This is a 5-star book without the sex scene. It ruins the entire book. That explicit sex scene was so unnecessary to this book. It ruined, sorry, can't talk. It ruined the entire fun premise and witty dialogue. A book I would have recommended to friends became a book I will warn them about. This person says, I could feel brain cells dying as I read this. And once again, I'm not trying to make fun of them, but I don't know if they did this intentionally, because if they did, I liked the level of trolling themselves. And if they didn't do it intentionally, then they really must have brain cells dying, because that's not how you spell dying. Anyway, I could feel brain cells dying as I read this. I'm absolutely baffled. This is a New York Times bestseller. If I read one more sentence about how tall and broad he is, or how she can survive off nothing but vitamin gummies and a pack of gum for days at a time, I'm using this as kindling. Then the author throws in some light science terms to try to make it less demeaning. It didn't work. I cringe so much. It causes physical pain every time there is a heavy-handed, ridiculous, forced romance scene, which is every page. I'm 200 pages in and there is zero plot, which would be fine if there was beautiful writing, a slow burn storyline, character building, literally anything salvageable, but there is not. It's just, oh no, they have to kiss or cuddle or rub lotion on each other in public because they are fake dating, and if they don't, no one will believe them. Ridiculous. And that's it for these funny one-star reviews. Let me know if you have suggestions for other popular books or series that you'd like to see me do this for in the future. And then on top of that, let me know if you'd like me to specifically do one for Ali Hazelwood's other book, Love on the Brain, because I can only imagine, because that one has some really bizarre things that end up happening in it. Whereas this one, it uses a lot of tropes in a way that a lot of people found very cliche. That other one, some of what happens toward the end of the book is very random and interesting. So I'm sure people have things to say about it. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Which one of these was your favorite? I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Bye.